Hello everyone, today we will create a warm picture activity. So let's start. So the first thing that we need to do is to create the background of the activity using a solid color. Okay, so let's try to change the fill color in any color that we want for the background of the activity. Now once you're done choosing a particular color, you can now right click on the canvas, go to layers, go to geometry, and then please click a solid color. Okay, now once we're done, please go to layers panel, try to rename the layer of the background into background. Right, so we're done with the background of the activity. So what's next? Let's try to create the ground of the activity. Okay, so in creating the ground of the activity, we need to use a spline tool. So go to toolbox, please select spline tool. Then on the tool properties panel, I want you to select two different layer, and that is region and outline layer. Then after that, you can now go back to fill color. You can change the color of it in any color that you want for the ground of the activity. Okay, now once you picked or choose a particular color, you can close it. Then after that, you can create now the ground of the activity. Okay, so you will start the lower part of the canvas either on the left side or right side of it. Okay, now you can create a ground with tiny loops, or you can create a ground which is straight. Okay, now once you're done creating, you can now go back to the tool properties panel, and I want you to select make spline, or I want you to click make spline so that the ground will appear inside the canvas. Okay, now we're done with creating the ground. So then what's next? Proper grouping. So let's go back to layers panel. I want you to select the two layers of the ground, right click on it, then please look for group layer and then rename it as ground. All right, so on the layers panel, we have one group, and that is consist of two layers of the ground, and we also have here a separate layer for the background. Now what's next? The next step is inserting the animated worm creature. Okay, now you can go to Google. Okay, you can open a browser, and then please search for an animated worm creature or animated worm. Okay, now do not forget, okay, you need to choose a particular image of an animated worm creature that is in PNG file type or transparent file type. Okay, now once you're done downloading that picture, you can now go back here on the menu bar. You can click the file tab options, and after that, please click import. Now please look for the folder, okay, that you download that image. Okay, so please look for that image in the folder that you save or you choose. Okay, now once you click or once you look for it, okay, I want you to click import button. Now once you click import button, as you can see, the character will be placed inside the canvas. All right, so what's the next thing that we need to do? We need to duplicate the worm or the character that we created. Okay, so please go back to the layers panel, click on the layer of the worm, right click on it, then please look for duplicate layer. Okay, so as you can see, we have now two different layer for the worms. Okay, so what's the next thing that we need to do? For each worm, we need to group it. Or each worm, we need to group it. So for example, we need to group this one, and then rename it as worm 1. Okay, and then we need to group the other one, and then please rename it into worm 2. Okay, so as you check on the layers panel, we have 3 different groups. That is worm 1, worm 2, ground, and a separate layer, which is the background. Okay, so we're done with the proper grouping. Now, what's the next thing that we need to do? You need to click worm number 2. Let's click worm number 2. Okay, on worm number 2, we need to apply mirror tool, or we need to use the mirror tool, okay, so that we can flip the character. Okay, so please click worm 2, then go to the toolbox, please click mirror tool, After clicking mirror tool, go to the tool properties panel. We have two options here. You must select the horizontal option. Okay, you must select the horizontal option. And after that, you can now go back here, okay, at the different handles of the character. Okay, you can click on it and then flip it on the other side of the canvas. Okay, so as you can see, after applying the mirror tool, we have now two different worms which is facing left and right side of the canvas. Right, so that's the use of the mirror tool. Now, what's the next thing that we need to do? Please click the transform tool. Let's try to link the character into the spline or into the ground. Okay, so let's start first with worm number 1. Okay, so how are we going to link the character into the spline? We need to click the worm 1 group. And after that, you need to go inside the ground group. I want you to select the 2 layers of the ground. Okay, so please click worm 1 group. And after that, go inside the ground group. Please select the 2 layers of it. And after that, use the control key on your keyboard. Click and hold on it while clicking the color blue handle of the group. How many times? Once only. And after that, okay, go at the right side of the canvas. Okay, so let's start here at the right side of the ground. Right click on the line, then click link to spline. Please click link to spline. Right, so as you can see, we're done linking to spline the character or the worm 1. Now let us proceed with the second worm. So please click worm number 2. What's next? Please select 2 layers of the ground. Okay, now using the control key on your keyboard, click and hold on it. Please click the color blue handle once. Then right click at the very first or at the very start of the ground that we created. Right click on it, then please look for link to spline. Okay, all right. So as you can see, both of our characters now are linked, okay, on the left and right side of the ground. Now, what's the next thing that we need to do? All we need to do is to turn on the animate editing mode and try to insert keyframes. So now, for example, I will try to click first 24 frame. Then I will focus on worm number 1. So I will move it. Okay, 48 frame, I will move again the character. 72 frame, I will move it again. 96. Okay, until 120 frame in which it reach the other part of the canvas. Okay, so we're done with worm number 1. Now please click the group of worm number 2. Please click the group of worm number 2. Now you can try to insert now another keyframes. So like for example, 24 frame. Let's click 24 frame. Use the color green handle or the position handle moving the character. Next, 48 frame. Next, 72 frame. Next, 96 frame. Until it reach 120 frame, in which it reach this the other part also of the canvas. Okay, now we're done inserting the different keyframes for both the characters. Now please go to free view of animation. Let's see what's the output after inserting the keyframes. Let us wait for it to render. Now let me click the play button. Right, so as you can see, we have the worm picture activity in which the 2 characters are crossing each other. Okay, the other one is from left side going to the right side, and the other one is from right side going to the left side of the canvas. Now, this is the output that I want to see on your, or this is the movement that I want to see on your output. Okay, all you need to do is to add some designs here Now it depends on you what are the designs that you want to include. And after that, you need to render the file. How are you going to render the file again? Go to File tab, go to Render button or Render options. Please try to change the PNG into AVI. Choose a particular folder, saving it. Now please go to Target. Since we're downloading or rendering it as video, you must select FFmpeg. And on the parameters part, I want you to select under available video codecs the option which is mpeg-4 part 2 dot open parenthesis xvid/divx. Okay, then after that, please click the OK button. Then after that, you need to click the render button. Now we have now the character, or we have now the activity or the warm creature activity. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed our activity. Thank you.